Hey folks, John Nord. I want to show you how I built my vacuum pouring chamber for lost wax casting. So stay tuned. Okay, I'm just getting into lost wax casting. I've done a few casts that were successful, and I've been collecting my the items needed for this venture for quite some time. And you know me, I like to build a lot of my equipment I use. And two things I knew I could build was a pouring vacuum chamber, and to pull a vacuum when I pour the silver into the flask. And also I could build a vacuum chamber to pull on the investment to get the air out of it. So today I'm going to show you how I built the vacuum pouring chamber. It was pretty easy. If you're a welder, it's especially easy. And it saved me quite a bit of money, and I think it's a lot more durable than what you can buy. So let's get right into it. Okay, this is the chamber, and I'm gonna unhook the hose here. There we go. And I'll turn it around here where you can see it better. What I did here was I took I bought me a piece of 6-inch OD pipe, steel pipe. It's about 3/16 wall, and I just cut a piece of it. And this one is about 7.5 inches tall. You can make it as tall as you want. Then I had the advantage of having a plasma cutter, but I cut out some rings. I cut out one circle for the bottom of this pipe, and I cut out another circle for the top of the pipe. The top circle is about 4 inches across. So if I wanted to put a 4-inch diameter flask in here, I could get me a piece of silicone high temp rubber like this, cut the hole the proper size, put it on here, and put my flask in there, and I'm ready to pull a vacuum. I don't use a 4-inch flask at this time. Like I say, I'm starting out in this. I've got a 2.5-inch flask, and this is working real good for me right now because I'm just getting started. But I thought, you know what? And this is my adapter for the 2.5-inch. And I want to say this. The gaskets, you have to have a gasket on top and bottom of these steel pieces. These gaskets are two different colors here, but they're basically the same thing. They're high heat silicone gaskets. I bought them online. This one was a 12 by 12 sheet, and I think I got it for $9. This one was, I think, a 12 by 12 also. I ordered it from like Rio Grande or something, and I think it was a little higher, maybe $15. And then I cut the size hole in them I needed. So my gaskets, one would go here, and then I put my steel spacer to close the hole up smaller for my smaller flask. And then I take the top gasket to put here. That way I'm sealing the spacer top and bottom, and I'm also sealing the flask to the top of this. And the flask would go right in here. Now I've got the cap on here, the rubber sprue cap, but say this was full of investment, I would put it down in here from the oven, about 1,000 degrees, bring it over with my tongs, set it down in here, have my molten metal ready, and do my pour with vacuum applied to the chamber. Now let's talk about how I built the chamber. Take these things off. Oh, another thing, if I did want to use a 3-inch flask, I've got an adapter for that, and I would just simply put the right size silicone gasket in here, put the spacer on there, this spacer, and the 3-inch flask in here. So you can cut different adapters. I can use a 4-inch, 3-inch, and a 2.5. And you could use a 2, but I don't know that many people use a 2. Anyway, let's talk about how I built this. 6-inch OD pipe. 3/16 wall. Bought it at a pipe yard. Cut it about 7.5 inches tall. Cut me a disc for the top of it. This disc is 1/4 inch, same as these spacers. And I cut a 4-inch hole in the top. Then I cut a solid steel bottom. I welded the bottom disc on, and then the top spacer disc on, or the top 4-inch hole disc on. Then I cut a hole here in the side, and I used a steel 1/4 inch NPT nipple into that hole, and I welded that nipple in. Once I had all that welded up, I didn't test it at that time. I thought, well, I need to get my vacuum all hooked up before and use the vacuum to test it. So I had a solid disc, and once I had my vacuum hooked up, I had another silicone gasket put on, put the solid disc on, and pull the vacuum. It held vacuum, so I knew all my welds were good. If your vacuum's not holding, you know you got a pinhole in one of your welds, and you'll have to correct that. You can't have any leaks in your welds or any of your plumbing here. What I did as far as the plumbing goes, I got, like I say, a 1.5 inch long steel 1/4 inch NPT nipple. And then I have a ball valve, a brass ball valve, 1/4 inch on each end. And this just where I can seal it off, shut it on and off. And then I have a 1-inch brass nipple that's 1/4 inch NPT. And I have a 1/4 inch NPT T top and both ends. And out here, I put a 1/4 inch NPT male adapter by 1/4 inch flare fitting here. And that's what I screw my vacuum pump onto. Here I bought a vacuum gauge, and the vacuum gauge was 1/8 inch NPT, and so I put a reducer right here from 1/4 inch, from 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch, or 1/4 inch to 1/8 inch, so the gauge would fit into the top of that T. That took care of all my plumbing. And that plumbing there probably cost around, with the gauge, the valve, and all that, probably about $25 to $30, because the gauge and the valve was the most expensive things. I think they were about $16 for the two of those. Anyway, we got all that plumbed up. I tefloned all the fittings, and that took care of this. Now, let me move over to the vacuum pump. Okay, my vacuum pump, I purchased it on Amazon, and it's 110 volt, half horse, 5 CFM. That's been plenty good for this operation. And it was about $130 when I purchased it. And it's a real good pump. It comes with oil to put in it. And I know every once in a while you need to change your oil because it has moisture in it. But that's my vacuum pump. It has a port right here, 1/4 inch NPT, I believe, flare. And what I use, now if you don't, I was a mechanic at one time, and I had AC gauges and all that, and I still have these laying around. So I pulled out my AC gauges to use on this connection. That way I have valves here that I can control outside of what I've got here. But all you really need is just a line to go from this flare fitting to this flare fitting. And that way you've got her hooked up. And you can watch your gauge here for how much vacuum you have. This vacuum pump tends to pull 25 inches of vacuum. And that's plenty. Believe me, when that vacuum's pulled, you can't pull this flask out of this chamber. So anyway, the way I hook it up is I use my AC gauges. And I'm going to turn this here. And I run one line to here. Now, like I say, if you weren't using AC gauges like I am, like a manifold, you would just run a line from here to there. And you can buy these lines from Auto Supply. Just get a gauge line, and they work great. But anyway, then I'll hook this valve line here on the side port. And this vacuum gauge has another port up here for a different type of gauge fitting. It's a bigger gauge fitting like the R134 AC units use. This gauge set I have was for R12, which they don't use no more. Anyway, I'm going to show you how it works here. We'll start it up and see what we've got. I've got one of my gauges of valves on the manifold open, which runs to this. And I'm going to close this valve here. I'm going to put my first gasket on the top right here. You want to make sure these are clean. Any dirt on them will interfere with your vacuum. Then I'm going to put my adapter on here to close the hole up to a 2.5 inch flask. I'm going to put my flask in here. Like that. I'm sorry, I have to put this silicone gasket on there now. Then I'll put my flask in here. Now, I'm going to put the rubber cap, sprue cap on my flask. Normally, you would be doing this. This would be full of burned out, investment that's been through the burnout oven, and it's ready to be poured into. I have to put this rubber cap on here though to show you that it will pull a vacuum. With the investment in there, it pulls through the investment and it will seal. And sometimes I can't get this rubber cap to seal, but hopefully it will this time when I do this demonstration. So, I'm going to turn on the vacuum pump here. I've got it running and I'm looking at my manifold gauge here and I'm showing 26 inches of vacuum. That's from the pump to this valve. Here, showing about the same. Now I'm going to open this valve up, which will allow vacuum to be pulled on the chamber. You can hear the change in the vacuum pump, and it's pulling the air out of the chamber. Now, if your vacuum stalls like this here, the rubber cap is not sealing. So let me redo that. You won't have this trouble with investment in your flask, but trying to seal it with a rubber cap is a little different. I'm pushing down on the rubber cap to make it seal better. You don't, like I say, you don't have to do this with investment in there. Okay, now we have a good vacuum, and you can see I can't pull this flask out of here. In fact, I can pick up the chamber with just by the flask, and that shows that you got a real good vacuum on this chamber. And what you would do is you would take your hot molten metal and pour in your flask and investment, and that vacuum in this chamber will pull that silver down through the investment and make sure it fills completely. And we've got this vacuum released, and I can take this out. Anyway, with high temp gaskets, this flask will typically be about 1,000 degrees when you put it in here to pour your molten metal. And these silicone gaskets, make sure you don't use just a normal gasket. You have to have high temp because you're dealing with 1,000 degrees and maybe even higher at times. Hey, I hope you found this useful. These chambers, this chamber here is very durable. It's easy to work on. I made it right in my shop. I've done a few castings with it already, and it works great. I've had real good results, and in fact, I just casted a piece yesterday using this chamber, and I will put a picture of that casting at the end of this video. Also in the description, I will put a complete parts list for what I've got here that I've showed you today, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. I'm going to put out another video showing my homemade vacuum chamber for pulling a vacuum on the investment to get the air out of it. And I built that even cheaper than this. And it works great. I used it the same way. And then as time goes along, I'm going to put some videos of lost wax casting. And I hope y'all find that interesting. And I appreciate everybody checking out my channel. Hey, we'll see you later. Thanks.